Hello and welcome to Anarchy in the Ukulele with me, P.Man. Got something a bit different today. I'm going to do a little bit of singing and I'm going to teach you how to play Heroes by David Bowie, which is an absolutely awesome song. So let's get straight into it. I'll sing it through for you. There's another verse, but we won't worry about that at the moment. So this is a really brilliant song. It's in 4/4, okay? There are only 5 chords in it. First chord that you need is a D chord, which is 2, 2, 2, 0, okay? I find it easiest to play it with my second finger, then my first, and then my third. Okay, so D. The next chord you're going to need is a G. Okay, this is why I play my D like that, because to get to G, this finger doesn't have to move, so it's an easy jump. So D is 0, 2, 3, 2. Okay? Your next chord is a C, 0, 0, 0, 3. Just got one finger at the third fret. Next chord is A minor, 2, 0, 0, 0. And the final chord is E minor, 0, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we've got a D, a G, a C, an A minor, and an E minor. So let's talk a little bit about the rhythm of this. It's in 4/4, but for most of the chords, certainly the early chords in the verses, you've got 2 bars of them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each chord. So in its most simple form, it would be like this. 1 bar, 2 bars, change. So it'd be I wish you could swim. Okay, so in its most simple form, you can do that. So let's do that to begin with. So on the I wish you could swim, you're going to do 8 down strums until you get to swim. I wish you could swim. 8 on G. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like dolphins. 8. Like dolphins can swim. 8 on G. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's nothing. 8 on C. So in effect, you've got D for 8 down strums, G for 8 down strums, D for 8 down strums, G for 8 down strums, C for 8 down strums, D for 8 down strums. You then got A minor just for 4 down strums, E minor for 4, and then you got D for 8. And then you got C for 4, G for 4, and D for 8. So that's in its most simple form. I personally think the easiest way to learn this song is just to do down, up, because you can almost hear that bass going do 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 do, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do 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 do. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's a really important thing that will help you master this song. If you're doing the down ups, which is the best way to learn it, so for the first 6 chords, you're going to do down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, times 2 on each chord. On the last up, you change chords. So it's like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. So it's really important you change on that last up, otherwise you won't get there in time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and same again. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So the last and of the chord you're actually moving between. That's why it's great to do a D like that. No one ever tells you this when you learn ukulele or guitar, because often you think you've got to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then when you begin, when you first learn, you can't get to that chord quick enough. So if you do it on the last half beat, it sounds nice and you'll get there a lot smoother. So likewise, when you're going from the G, dolphins can swim, you can do a little jump between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So use that and as a segue to get to the next chord. So let's go through the first verse really, really slow. I wish you could swim like dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together, we can beat them forever and ever. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and we could be heroes just for one day. Okay, the second verse is exactly the same. The I will be king, and you're still doing that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's just try that together, because that's really the knack to this song. So we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and twice on a D. On the last and, the last up strum, you'll move into that. So you're keeping one finger down and going there. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and. It's a great way to practice. The more you do that, the smaller that gap can get, until you have no gaps in between the chords. Actually, I quite like to leave it in. Let's try it between G and C. So we're going to go from G, and on the last and, the last up strum, you're going to do an empty chord. It's actually an A minor 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and between the chords. Okay. So verse 2 is exactly the same as verse 1. There's a little riff in between, which I'll show you in a minute. Verse 3 just has 2 extra lines of D, G, D, G. Other than that, it's exactly the same. And then the outro is just D, G. We could be heroes. We could be heroes. Okay? So I do a slightly different strum pattern. Okay, if you start with the down, up, I actually do down, down, up, down, down. Sorry, down, down, up, down, up. So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It's a little bit trickier. The other thing I do as I'm playing it, I just occasionally pick out the odd note. I wish you could swim like dolphins can swim. So I'm doing down, down, up, down, up, and just occasionally picking the odd note. The other thing that I do when I do the D chord, it's nice to hammer on. This note here is an F sharp. It's nice to hammer on. So occasionally lift it up, play the chord. So you're playing the chord with only 2 fingers down, and then you hammer that finger down. So you kind of get 2 notes for the price of 1. I wish you could swim like dolphins could swim. You can do it on the G as well. Okay, so let's have a look at that little riff that I did at the beginning. Might be easiest if I explain this on a bass. This riff goes the whole way through the song. It's an amazing little riff. It's actually played on a bass. Okay, hopefully you can hear that because I'm not plugged in. Okay, and we can replicate those exact notes on the ukulele. So the actual riff is going D, B, A, D, 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 B, A, D. It then actually goes up to G. Like that. The way I do it, you've got 2 choices. So I play the riff and the chord. So I play the D chord, I'm just barring at second, and then I'm going. So 2 down strums, sorry, down up, then lift your 5th finger up, and then lift the whole chord up. So down, up, and then down. Quick down up, and then I lift the chord off again. So really slowly. You've then got 2 choices. Technically, it should go up to a G, so it should go. So I'm going. Like that, ba, 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 which is 10, 7, 7, 10, 7. And you can just bar it, so that's a G chord anyway, and then you can do that same rhythm. Now, personally, when I do it, I prefer to not bother altering going up the neck. I change the chord but keep the riff the same. So I keep the riff as even when I change from a G to a D. So let's see that. G. So I think that sounds better than going up the neck personally. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and change to G. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and it's quite tricky that. It's a great little intro though. Now I've done this in exactly the same key that the original is in, so it's in the key of D, so you can play along with the original. Then you won't have to put up my singing, you'll hear lovely Mr. David Bowie's voice instead. So remember, start off, just go through your chords, learn your chords, D, G, C, A minor, E minor. Then just do down strums. Then progress to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're using that and, the up strum, as a segue to get to the next chord. It's a brilliant, brilliant song. I love it very much. I hope you enjoyed that. If you would like to hear more tutorials, please get in touch, give us some suggestions. Hopefully next time we'll have Abby back and she can save me the pain of having to sing. She can do it with her lovely voice. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that bell. Okay, bye now.